Everything you've been told about testosterone, half of it is wrong. You've heard it makes men aggressive, reckless, even dangerous. But what if I told you that low testosterone is actually wrecking men's mental health, and no one's talking about it? The truth is, testosterone isn't just about muscles. It's about your brain, your mood, your motivation. And while fitness influencers love to talk about boosting T levels, they rarely mention what happens when it drops. And that's where things get scary. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how testosterone shapes your mental health, and why low levels could be the hidden reason for your brain fog, anxiety, or depression. And forget the locker room myths. This is all backed by real science that might completely change how you see this misunderstood hormone. And who am I to break all this down for you? My name is Dr. Sulman Aziz Mirza, triple board certified adult psychiatry, child and adolescent psychiatry, and addiction medicine. And before you ask, no, leaving your phone in your pocket won't kill your testosterone. But believing the wrong myths just might. You've heard it a million times. Testosterone makes men aggressive, angry, and reckless. But what if I told you that's not what the science actually says? In reality, low testosterone isn't making men aggressive. It's making them anxious, depressed, and unmotivated. A study from George Washington University found that 56% of men with borderline testosterone levels had depression or depressive symptoms. That's more than half. So if you've been feeling low, tired, or mentally foggy, your testosterone levels might be the missing piece. When I was in med school, we barely touched on hormones and mental health. It was all about memorizing endless tables of feedback loops. Thyroid stimulating hormone does this, and parathyroid hormone does this, and testosterone, well, apparently it's just for muscles and sperm. But that was wrong. Testosterone isn't just a physical hormone. It's a mental one as well. It directly influences brain chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, the same ones targeted by most antidepressants. In fact, a major JAMA psychiatry review found that testosterone therapy improved mood even in men with normal levels, which completely challenges everything we thought we know about this hormone. Scientists now call testosterone a neuroactive steroid hormone. What does that mean? It's not just about your body, it's brain fertilizer. It boosts serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, the same brain chemicals targeted by the antidepressants. But that's not all. Testosterone actually protects brain cells and even grows new neurons, supporting motivation, energy, and mental clarity. Think about it like this. If a man feels exhausted, unmotivated, and emotionally drained for months, his doctor will probably check everything: stress, diet, sleep, but rarely testosterone. And yet, when it finally is tested, the results are eye-opening. Men who receive testosterone therapy often say the mental fog lifts. They feel clearer, more energized, and more positive about life. Ever felt like you're running on empty? Foggy, sluggish, unmotivated, and no matter how much coffee you drink, it doesn't go away? We blame stress, we blame aging, maybe even depression. But what if the real reason is low testosterone? For too long, we've ignored testosterone's role in mental health, treating it like it only matters for muscles. But the science is clear. It's not just a macho man hormone. It's a crucial part of your mental well-being. Ooh, yeah. And the more we understand this connection, the more we can change how we approach and treat mental health issues in men. So if testosterone is this powerful for mental health, here's the real question. Why do so many people still get it completely wrong? The answer lies in decades of misinformation, fear-based reporting, and a medical blind spot that's hurting millions of men. And once you hear what they got wrong, you'll never look at testosterone the same way again. In 2014, a New York Times editorial called testosterone therapy dangerous, making doctors hesitant to prescribe it, even though science said otherwise. Since then, you've seen the same headlines. Testosterone therapy causes heart attacks, increases strokes, even sudden death. But a massive 2023 study in the New England Journal of Medicine found something shocking. Testosterone therapy does not increase heart risks when properly prescribed. This wasn't some small experiment. It followed over 5,200 men between ages 45 and 80. And guess what? The men on testosterone had the same rate of heart issues as those taking a placebo. This directly contradicts years of fear-based headlines. So why haven't you heard about it? Because misinformation spreads way faster than the correction. And this isn't just a testosterone problem. The exact same thing happened with hormone replacement therapy, HRT, for women. Researchers even have a term for this: medical hysteria. A lie about health can spread worldwide before the truth even gets its shoes on. And once it's out there, people believe it, even when later studies completely disprove it. So why does this happen? Because health reporting oversimplifies everything. They need clear-cut, black and white narratives. Something is either a miracle cure or a death sentence. But the truth? Testosterone is complex. It affects the brain, the body, and the heart in ways clickbait headlines will never explain. And these myths have real consequences. Many still believe testosterone causes aggression, yet studies show low testosterone is the real culprit behind irritability, anxiety, and even depression. So how do you make sure you're getting the real facts? Check your sources. Is the info from peer-reviewed research or just a news outlet? Look for numbers. If a study doesn't show real data, be skeptical. And be wary of dramatic headlines. Even the FDA admits that the link between testosterone and health risk is inconclusive, but you rarely see that in the news. When the media distorts science, real people suffer. They stay misdiagnosed, they stay untreated, and they keep struggling without ever knowing why. That's why understanding the real science isn't just important, it could be life-changing. Testosterone is called the male hormone, but that's only half the story. Here's the truth. Women produce testosterone too. Their bodies make it in the ovaries and adrenal glands, just in smaller amounts. And just like in men, testosterone is critical for mental health. When women have low testosterone, they don't just feel off. They experience fatigue, mood swings, brain fog, and even depression. But instead of getting tested for hormones, they're often misdiagnosed with anxiety or stress or some female problem. This is part of a much bigger issue in medicine. Women's health concerns don't always get the attention they deserve. If you want a deep dive on medical sexism, let me know in the comments below. But here's where things get even more interesting. Testosterone doesn't affect everyone the same way. It's not just about the number, it's about your personal baseline. Think of hormones like the equalizer setting on a sound system. A small tweak to bass or treble can completely change the way the music sounds. That's testosterone. Two people with the same levels can have completely different experiences. One might feel great, the other exhausted, unmotivated, and emotionally drained. And gender isn't the only factor. Age plays a huge role too. As we get older, testosterone naturally declines. But here's the interesting part. A 2025 study in the Journal of Gerontology followed over 4,100 men aged 70 plus for 8 years. 1,449 of them developed depression. But their testosterone levels didn't predict it. Wait, doesn't that contradict everything we've been talking about? Not exactly. See, in younger men, testosterone is a major player in mood, motivation, and cognitive function. But as we age, other biological factors like inflammation, brain chemistry, and lifestyle start outweighing testosterone's role. So what's the big takeaway? For both men and women, low testosterone can cause serious mood issues, but doctors rarely test for it. And that's where the biggest danger of testosterone information comes in. Because when people assume testosterone is just a muscle-building hormone for men, they completely miss the mental health effects it has on everyone. So, where does that leave us with testosterone therapy? We know it works for men with hypogonadism, but for healthy older men, the benefits aren't as clear. As Dr. Michael Erwig points out, in an era where more and more people are being tested for low T, there is very little data about men who have borderline testosterone levels. And that's a huge problem, because over a third of men over 45 may have low testosterone affecting their mood, but there's still so much we just don't know. So here's the takeaway. Be skeptical. Skeptical of miracle claims, skeptical of fear-based headlines, and most importantly, always look at the real data before making health decisions. Your mental health matters too much to trust bad science. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt mentally drained, foggy, or unmotivated and wondered if testosterone might be a factor? Drop a comment. I want to know your thoughts. If this helped you see testosterone a little bit differently, hit like and subscribe. I've got plenty more deep dives into mental health and science coming up, and plenty in the library. Oh, and we're not done yet. In part 2, we're going to expose the dark side of testosterone hype. How marketing, big podcasts, and social media are shaping your beliefs about hormones and testosterone. You won't want to miss it. Until next time, be safe and be well.